Downloading latest intel package. Welcome back. I was getting worried about you.
Agent Academy, episode 10, recorded on January 9th, 2018. I'm Agent Soho.
And I'm Agent Goonie Guy. And today we've got an awesome special guest today, Andrew Krug, the Global Community Manager for Niantic Labs.
Yeah.
RedSoloCup.
He has agreed to do a fantastic interview with us, and he might spill some beans on something that he's not supposed to be talking about, or he might not.
He might have to kill every single one of us if he does, though. So we're going to try to stay away from that. We won't goad him into purposefully saying something that will get us all killed, but you never know.
That's right. He said he listens to the show, and he was very excited and happy to be on the show, and that is super cool because he's a really cool guy. So we'll get into that. But first we have, let's do sit rep, city, sit rep, sit rep, sit rep, sit rep. And that's it, sit rep. Okay, so
that's all we got.
All right. So now on to Circle K. Circle
K. So just an update. I did my due diligence of turning in my points for codes, and I contacted Circle K. I sent them a contact message with, hey, what the heck is going on with all this? And I said, we're going to be talking about this on the show, so it'd be nice if you gave us some information. And then I contacted their app developers as well. Haven't heard from them, so I'll report back as soon as I hear anything, or I get codes. I haven't gotten the codes either, and it apparently is not just me. We've seen other people say that they've submitted points and have not got their codes either. So not looking good, but I won't ask Andrew about it. I know that's for a fact.
Yes, you don't want him to kill you.
No.
Also, some big baths went down recently.
That's a true fact, sir.
So we have this is a big one that made a lot of noise here. This Florida and Cuba were under 50 plus layers of green, totaling 356 million MU. Million. So like from Florida all the way to Cuba, and then to like South America. Where is that? Somewhere over there. It's like the Bermuda
or something. It's like way over there, and then over.
Yeah, it's like where the hurricanes go through, right? It's like the path of the hurricanes. Like it's the Bermuda. It's like the Bermuda Triangle almost, but it's shifted to the west a little more than the actual Bermuda Triangle. But still insane. If they had 50 plus layers, like, and all those people got millions, like I would love to be part of something like that and just get one layer for myself. You'd have Onyx right away. That's pretty cool. Kudos, man.
And speaking of kudos, the Resistance, they came back with their own BAF. And this one went all the way from Colorado to down in Mexico over to Florida as well. And we actually had some community members comment on that one as well.
Yeah, that one's pretty insane too. Not sure how many layers this was.
So apparently it was, so they missed the first checkpoint and then got the second one. The first fields, they threw 36 fields, about 20 million per layer. And then the second time they threw for the 9 a.m. Eastern checkpoint was 28 layers. So total 67 layers.
Oh, okay. And each layer is said to be 20 million MU.
Yes.
Just
yeah, roughly. One layer. And
that's pretty cool.
We actually got a comment in our Telegram channel, or maybe actually this might have been on Twitter, from LA Southern 328, said Resistance broke Ingress last night. Most intense battle I've ever seen. They missed the 2 a.m. checkpoint and they battled it out till after the 7 a.m. checkpoint. So for 5 hours, went at it to get all the fields back up, which is crazy awesome.
That's insane.
Quickly, this week I did get 3 badges. I got our medals. I got my gold Trekker. I got my bronze Recon, and then silver Purifier, I believe. So I'm ready for the next level. I just need 2 million more AP to ding.
2 million? Oh, that's nothing. You can get that.
I hate you.
You can get that. This week, last episode, I was just talking about how the blue just needs to do something in Huntsville, especially around where I live, because it's always been green, and it's just really been just green for way too long. I just drive by and I'm just hack. I can't mod anymore. I can't link field. I'm like, this is kind of boring, It's just in my area. So then right after the episode aired, someone, I won't say names, had some blues come up and kill all the stuff and make some fields. I was like, I don't know if it's a coincidence. It could be, or maybe, maybe they listen to the show. I mean, I would hope that local blues and greens, would listen to our show. So maybe they heard it and they came and they blew stuff up. So now, it gave me something to do. So the other day, instead of just driving to the post office, I went over here, and blew this up and linked this, and so yay, it was fun. So thanks.
So you could call them out. So I've been making a conscious effort, a conscious decision to not name names, so I don't get people to want us to say their name by coming and fielding on top of us all the time. So I'm not saying anybody's name, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's probably the idea, is just...
But I think you should. Let's do an experiment. You name names and see if you get more resistance over your way to field over you and...
Okay. Starting next week, though, because now having known the rules,
right,
you'll get your name called out if you want the attention. So, is that weird?
And I won't call your name out.
Okay. So yeah, from now on, all right, or at least for another episode.
We'll see how it goes.
And a quick contest update. We have a form to fill out, and people have surely been doing this. Only 1 vote per person, and this is the contest to give away $25 gift certificate. This is at the Ingress store, or otherwise. I think we had some other ideas. Anyway, this is so guess when Ingress Prime is coming out, the day and the time, and that's it. Fill out the form. It's in the description.
$25. Did you already say that?
Yeah.
I'll be honest, my mind wandered for a second.
That's okay.
That's all my fault.
And then the Twitch update, real fast, we have icons, we have a sub button. So if you're watching us live, which we do, we're streaming it right now. We stream this on Tuesdays, every Tuesday at noon. And or if it's not at noon, follow us on Twitter, because we'll say exactly when it's going to go on. It's a little late because we got Andrew coming up, and he had to have the secret meeting with aliens or something like that for some XM research. So we had to wait for that. So so sub us up on Twitch, twitch.tv/Agent Academy. And then now we get to the meat.
What's Andrew got to say? What's Andrew got to say?
All right, so we're going to go right into Andrew Krug, the interview, right now.
We do have a special guest today. We're going to talk with Andrew Krug, the Global Community Manager for Niantic Labs. Is that the correct?
Yeah, I think that's the title. I wear a bunch of different hats, but yeah, that's the one I think on the paycheck.
Well, we appreciate you joining us today, and appreciate everything you do for the community at large. So it's really nice to get to talk to you for just a bit.
No, thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be on. Like I said earlier, you guys are killing it. I'm a big fan of your guys' show, so nice job.
Well, thank you. We'll have to hook up in a future Anomaly, something like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And what were you gonna say, Eric?
Oh, well, I was just actually thinking something. I don't know if you just heard my thoughts, but I was thinking how gracious we are that you forewent your your secret meeting with the aliens to be on the show today.
We moved it up. We had it earlier today. So,
oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. We're taking over the world a little bit later.
Shapers or Inzier?
Ooh, that's a good question. I am enlightened, so I would have to go with the Shapers.
Nice. Nice.
Also, if you accidentally say something that you shouldn't, are you gonna kill us, or do you think everyone will like this? The aliens will come down.
That was my previous job. You don't have to worry about that anymore. It's all good.
Well, we warned the chat, so if you do have to kill us and everybody listening, it's okay.
The Shapers will just come in and just wipe everything magically. It's funny how that happens.
Yeah, they'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And speaking of being the global community manager for Niantic Labs, I know you've talked about it before in the past, AMAs and just questions, but just so people listening know, how did you get the job?
It was a really, really exciting story. They posted it online and I applied, and that was about it. So when Niantic split out at Google, there was a few employees that actually stayed behind, and one of them was my predecessor, Brian Rose. So I just whipped up a resume and applied like everyone else who wanted the job.
And then kicked ass in the interview. You gotta add that part. We know that had to happen.
Then kicked ass in the multiple interviews, yes.
And so what led you to apply for it?
So that's an interesting question, because at first I wasn't actually going to apply. I had a really nice career. I was really happy, really proud of it. My wife, on the other hand, she kind of saw me leading this double life, no pun intended, with Ingress, because I would work all day and then I would come home at night, and when the kids would go to bed, I'd go out and I'd play Ingress, or I'd be on my computer running ops and doing that sort of stuff. And so one day, we were talking about it, but she said, it's almost like you have two jobs. So why don't you apply and see if you can get paid to work on something you love and reduce it down to one job. So she was really the catalyst for it, and that's why I applied.
And then more and more traveling started happening.
And then I traveled quite a bit with my previous job. So yeah, although I'm gearing up for, I think, a 5-week trip around Asia. So that'll be fun, but that's a lot of traveling.
Oh, wow. What is everything you have to do? What are your job responsibilities?
Ooh, that's a pretty broad topic at its core. I think the best way to describe it is I'm sort of the two-way interface between the player base and Niantic. Wrapped up in sort of that simple description is a whole complex web of responsibilities. On some levels, I'm kind of like a help desk guy, because people come to me for help, needing help. I field a lot of tickets to be escalated, which I can't always do, but I'm happy to when I can. I manage the Anomaly POC process. I manage the social media channels. So anytime you see a typo, like the fat of the 13, that was me, probably because I didn't have much sleep. I interface with our product and marketing teams and engineering teams. We talk about all sorts of stuff. Obviously, there's the Vanguard program, the Trusted Reporter program, and basically anywhere the community perspective would really be helpful, that's where I provide it. So just about everywhere.
Okay, so you kind of know everything that's going on, really, right?
To a degree. They firewall me from some certain stuff just so I don't come on shows like yours and spill the beans.
Right.
But yeah, to a degree, I know a little bit about what's going on in a lot of places.
Cool.
Is that mostly Ingress, or are you doing more with Pokemon Go in future with Harry Potter, Wizards Unite, and things like that?
No, right now I'm 100% focused on Ingress. Yeah.
So do they have their own community managers?
We do have a community manager for Pokemon Go. The Wizards Unite one, I don't think so. We'll probably be hiring for that here shortly. So don't quote me on that, because I'm not part of the hiring process.
Okay.
But
if they do, everybody should apply, because right?
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Yeah.
Apparently, that's how you get jobs. You apply for them.
You apply for them. Just throw your resume out there, and kick ass in interviews too. So
yes, and Niantic offices. Do you work out of there, or do you work at home? Do you see the antics?
No. behind me is my basement. So I'm a huge Detroit Lions fan, which is why it's blue and gray all around me. American football team, for those of you watching from international places. But there is a lot of antics to go around. I get out there probably once every 3 months or so. One of the things I really like to do, I don't know if you've seen this, but one of my coworkers has a Darth Vader mask. And so I'll put on the Darth Vader mask and I'll take random pictures around the office doing random things. So that's kind of fun. But,
that's awesome. Are you going to post any of these?
I have posted them in the past. I need to go back and post some of the more recent ones. Yeah.
I'll do a calendar.
I could.
I'm not sure if there's any copyright issues with that.
Yes, probably.
Probably work out some kind of deal, Star Wars Go.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Disney now owns them, right? So
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might be tough. We'll see.
Princess Go. Anyway, so I guess we had some questions too from like audience members and stuff, and one of them was are you allowed to redeem passcodes on your own? You gave us some to give out, and we'll be giving one out during the show in the chat later. But
I absolutely am, because I'm a player too. I need gear. I can't just make my own stuff and just push it into my inventory. It doesn't work that way. So I redeem the same passcodes everybody else does.
And then you're like, hey, I need some special podcast codes to give out.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys saw the pattern, though. I was watching, was it the last episode, and you noticed the pattern in some of the things, some of the passcodes. So
it opened our eyes.
Oh, yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, we thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, that would be morally corrupt if you were creating your own, because it would be like working for the Federal Reserve and you're just like, I need some money. I'm going to print a couple hundreds, So yeah, that's cool.
No, that would probably be bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. So do you play Ingress with other people in the office?
I do. Generally, it happens more at events than anything else, just because during the day we're working, and I obviously don't work in San Francisco, but even when I am there, we'll go out every now and then and play, and especially with Ingress Prime. We want to test it and do all that sort of stuff. So, yeah, definitely.
So like if you guys go out for lunch or something like that, is it just common that everybody's kind of got their scanner up, or maybe do you eat at a lunch portal or something like that?
It is pretty common to have people with their phones out at lunch doing something, whether it's Go or Ingress. Yeah, definitely.
I can see that.
Yeah. It's one of those times when you don't take offense to the person next to you paying attention to their phone, because you know exactly what's going on.
Right.
Otherwise, we have a rule in my house: no phones at the dinner table. So
yeah.
I bet there's some great places around the offices that have abundant portals there.
There is, yeah, and in fact, there's I think there's one that we can reach right from the off. Actually, there's a whole bunch right along the Embarcadero there, and yeah, it's pretty portal dense.
It's like Hanky's car. It's a portal. What?
Well, pretty much.
How you do it? So speaking of game, how would you explain Ingress to someone who hasn't heard of it before?
That's a really good question. Since I started playing, the way that I've been explaining it to people is that it's like the board game Risk, only in real life. So if you want to capture Australia, you have to go to Australia to capture it. And that usually piques their interest. They're like, what? You have to travel for this? And then it opens up like the whole conversation.
You're like, I get to capture Australia?
Yeah, exactly. It could be a lot of work, but yeah.
That's really cool. I was trying to get my nephew to play. He's in the Air Force, and he's stationed in Japan. And I just looked at the base there, and it's just like jealousy. I mean, he's got to work for it, but there's a ton of portals there. So maybe I'll get him involved. I think all my nephews are sick of me trying to get them to play.
Where in Japan?
It's the Air Force base there. I don't know the name of it offhand. He told it to me, and I looked it up and then proceeded to forget the name of it.
I only ask because I'm going there next month, actually. In February, I'll be there.
You can go say hi, and then he'll be like, "What is going on? This is kind of creepy."
Who are you? Why? How do you know my name? What is? But that's the beauty of Ingress, because like people, you just know them, and you just accept them, and you just play with them. You have this instant relationship. So yeah, I'm happy to go try to drag your nephew into the game.
So you're heading over there for a while, right? Over to Asia?
Yeah, we've got like we're going to Australia, New Zealand, and Japan, and it'll be about 5 weeks in total. So yeah, my wife is she's happy that I won't be home because the house will be cleaner. So
until you get back,
exactly.
So we have some questions here. So. Yeah. How about, so have you had any of your game suggestions added to the game? I imagine you guys sitting around having some kind of like staff meetings and stuff, and everybody spits out ideas. So have you had something come into the game before?
Actually, that's a lot of what it is. So not in the sense that I directly had an idea and just told somebody, this is cool, put it in. But yeah, what we usually do is we have a meeting. It's like a brainstorm jam session. People come up with ideas. It can happen over email too. We do a lot of jamming over email as well. And then the group will kick out things like, the bonus key locker that we just had, and putting the two R8s or R7s on the portals for the anniversary event. So it's very much like a group dynamic. So I can't take personal credit for anything, but that's exactly how it functions.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. So it's kind of organic, really, I guess, once the brainstorm snowball gets bigger, I guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So we should definitely feed you with ideas when we get them.
Yeah, please do, because I do bring some up. And it's, there's other things. It's not quite that simple. We have people that study the impact of the game or impact of whatever mechanic it's going to be, and how many things did what, and what's the economy impact. And so it's not... I make it sound a little bit simple. It's not quite as simple as, that's a great idea, let's implement it. So.
Right. Have you you said you listened to our show, so have you heard anything we've suggested that might be interesting enough to bring to the group?
I don't know if it came up on your show, but one thing that I'm a huge fan of, and I will continue to advocate for, is naming capsules, because I've got capsules. I'm really type A and have them specifically organize specific stuff in specific capsules, especially keys. And so, yeah, I think naming them would be awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the one similar that was locking it to another player's like handle, so you could pass it off, but it's locked to the
right. Yeah.
Naming it's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that would be pretty cool too. But yeah, since there's so many sorting things going on with Ingress 2, we just kind of assumed something like that would happen with 2, the naming of the capsule. So because that's like, what is blue and red and yellow? Like you have to memorize like what's in what, make an Excel spreadsheet for yourself or something. If you're hardcore.
I've been there. Yep. I've got the spreadsheets. I used to track every hack, every output, everything. With my car, walking around with a clipboard, and I just mark it down. I got X. So yeah, those were the early days, man. It's like when it took 4 hours to hack like 30 portals.
So, really? Yeah. I've never heard anybody do that. That's pretty awesome, huh?
Yeah. The early days were it took a lot to do things. Mm-hmm.
Cool, huh? I see why they picked you.
Because I'm old.
Let's see. Speaking of features, we had one submitted by Violent, friend of the show, Violent Waves, who's wanted to know: are there plans to implement a system in Ingress in which players can see what portals are uniques for them? Even little badges in the corner of the photo saying unique exploration or unique capture. Yeah,
I don't know what the future feature set, to be honest with you, of Ingress Prime is going to be, but I mean, that is in Pokemon Go, so maybe that'll appear in Ingress. I hope it'll appear in Ingress. I will advocate for it to appear in Ingress, but I can't sit here and tell you whether or not that's actually going to be in there or not.
Right. And that's, I think in Pokemon Go, it's like a ring around it until you hack it.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Enough, because it's like you go into a new place and you're like, I don't know if I've hacked this one yet. And I guess there could be one for hacking and one for, you know, capturing unique as well somehow to look to.
Yeah.
But yeah, awesome question. And other features, maybe, I guess this isn't more of a what's going to happen with it, but more of what do you think should happen to it? But the Guardian badge, it's been coming up lately. It comes up all the time, really. But in your opinion, what do you think should be done with the Guardian badge?
Yeah, it's been on top of mind, that's for sure. So personally, and I have to caveat it with that because this is my personal opinion. I have no idea what is going to actually happen. But personally, as of today, I think I would like to see it retired. I think that, I mean, I earned my black badge back in the early days. Somebody did try to take it down at 149, except it was in an area they couldn't get to. So they sent me a message saying I was going to do it, but I can't get there, blah, blah, blah. So kudos, I guess, for them not spoofing it down, knowing that it was going to be there. But it's the root cause of a lot of problems. I would like to see a reward, though, for duration that portals are owned in some form, because I think it is an achievement. I don't know if it's, you know, a multiplier based off of you got 10 portals, you hold them for 1 day, that's 10 days worth, or something like that. I don't know what that looks like, but I do think that it would be fun to have a mechanic, just not the mechanic that we've got right now. So.
Okay. In your travels, are you going to China, perhaps?
No, we're not, but we are going to be releasing our games there. In fact, I think John Hanke, the CEO, has said we absolutely intend to bring our existing games to China. So that's on the record.
Oh, good.
Eventually, hopefully we'll go there. So I don't know.
Because I know right now, like Ingress, it's hard because people have to play off VPN, and it's probably not officially there for players, and so it must make things difficult for you as a community manager and things as well.
Yeah, we do have a regional community manager named Hilda Long, who is based out of Hong Kong, and she interfaces a lot with the Chinese players that are there. She has to deal with the Great Firewall of China too when she goes to mainland China and all that. But they've had mission days, they've had other things there, so there's definitely a player base. We would just like to open it up and do it right.
Speaking of opening up and doing it right, Prime, Ingress Prime. When do you expect it to be released? We'll put you in the contest. We have a contest going for who can guess the date.
I think I would win that contest. I think I should exclude myself.
Oh, so you know the date?
I would love to be able to provide you a date, but I don't think I would be sitting in this chair anymore if I did.
Well, we don't want that.
I like my job, but
we'd all be dead, I guess.
It is confidential, so yeah. But there is a mark on the wall for sure.
Cool, awesome. All right, so about anomalies, love anomalies. Awesome idea. Just an awesome way to just be in another city, have an excuse to just go somewhere, get uniques, meet all kinds of people. Everybody seems so friendly and cool. Never had a bad experience at an Anomaly. So, but what is it like for Niantic staff to be there? Like, what would your day look like at an Anomaly?
So it really depends if I'm supporting it remotely at home or if I'm the person on the ground. Because if I'm supporting it at home, usually I'm glued to my computer for like 24 hours and I'm fielding issues that come up. Players, spoofers, if there's a shard game or anything like that. So I relay that to NIA Ops and the game masters. So it's a lot of drinking coffee and a lot of energy drinks because I stay up for the entire cycle, Asia through America. But if I'm there supporting them in person, that's a whole different story. I help set up the registration. I train the temps that we hire to do it. Usually I make some sort of opening and closing statements or announcements. I still have my eye glued to my cell phone to make sure that if there are any issues that we can handle them correctly. But it's a lot of logistical work. And then during the Anomaly itself, what I'll do is try to play a little bit. So it might be a measurement or two, but I get a little play in and then go around, take pictures for our social media because I do that as well. So we want to post things and amplify the message of Ingress on social media. So a lot of taking pictures and videos and interviewing folks as well.
And then a party in the evening?
Then there is the party, usually at the primaries, yeah. And at the secondaries, we just we go to the faction parties, and those are always fantastic. I don't think there's ever been a bad after party anywhere. So
we'll work on that.
No. They've all been good.
Cool. So do you have any news about any upcoming anomalies?
I wish I did. I think, gosh, yeah, I don't want to get myself in trouble. But,
okay.
Hopefully, I don't want to say it out loud. I was going to say hopefully soon, but
hopefully you'll know soon, or hopefully Anomaly soon.
Hopefully we'll be able to make an announcement soon about what's going on, and give people, sort of the runway that they need to plan and do things. So I don't. As soon as we get it all finalized, we'll definitely make an announcement.
Cool.
I guess switching gears a little bit, you've been doing something pretty cool for the past months. The AMAs, you've been doing Monday, Tuesday-ish when you're available and have time. And I know people seem to appreciate it a lot. I know I do. But how long does it actually take you to complete your weekly AMA post?
When I'm not answering 272 questions. Normally it's only about 2 hours. I spread it over the course of the day, so it's 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, but it's probably about 2 hours worth, just not in a single sitting.
And are you doing more reaching out to other team members before you post, or are you trying to post first and then maybe hit those questions later?
Yeah, what I try to do is as a question comes up that I can't answer or I need more information about, I'll post it. We've got a Slack channel that I set up for the AMAs. And so hopefully, the person will see the question and help me and try to answer it. It doesn't always happen that way though, because they are working professionals as well. So it's not like we just have a dedicated team of staff answering the AMAs. Normally I'm tapping them on their shoulder and saying, hey, can you help me with this? So sometimes I can get the questions answered. Sometimes I can't. That's why I skip over some, or I say I have to get back. Right.
And I think some people, forget that an AMA is, hey, ask me anything. It's not ask Niantic anything. So there's stuff you don't know or can't talk about. And I think people need to, appreciate that and respect it. But I think you have been doing a good job of going and finding answers when you can. And I know people appreciate that as well.
It's fun. I enjoy doing it.
And so have you gotten into any trouble? Are there any rules that Niantic's put on you about the AMA, or said, hey, let's stay off that?
There's always the corporate constraints, right? I can't tell you where John Hankey lives, and I can't spill the beans on when Prime is coming out and that sort of stuff. But by and large, no, I've not gotten in trouble, knock on wood. So far, and beyond just the normal corporate stuff, they give me a pretty wide berth to sort of play with it and do what I need.
So now expect the most asked question to be next Monday. Where does John live?
Yeah, exactly.
What is the most asked question that you can think of?
Right now, I think it's generally been about the quarter Q1 anomalies. Is what I think is probably the most asked question.
Good thing we can pile one on.
Yeah.
To that counter.
Hey, I want to know too. So yeah, just keep asking.
And soon it'll be Q2, and you'll be like, well, I know the answer to the Q1 anomaly question. I can tell you. But what's your favorite topic to cover?
This is going to sound really cheesy, but I think it's anything that I can answer, because the point of doing these is to be able to establish that two-way communication with the community, right? And so although I see a lot of, repeat questions and whatnot, it's providing that hook, that feedback mechanism that I think is really important. I will say though that there's been a trend. I've been doing these for, I don't know, 3-4 months now. So there's definitely a trend of repeat questions. So one of the things I'm thinking of doing is maybe moving them instead of weekly to do like monthly, just so we can cut down on the amount of I mean, quite frankly, the questions I have to skip because they've asked 6 times and answered 5 times, and the ones that I can't answer that people continue to ask. So just to make the quality a little bit better, maybe move them to once a month. But really, it's anything that I can help the community answer.
And do you think the questions that get answered or asked over and over again, are they mostly questions that you can't really answer, so there isn't an answer, or ones that
it's a mix? It's a mix. There's a lot of questions that come in that are kind of vague, you know. It's like, what do you think about this? I've got a pole in my backyard. Well, not my backyard. That'd be pretty specific. But what do you think about this type of sign, you know? Or what do you think about this type of building? Stuff like that. It's really, there's a lot more context that needs to be put into there before I can usually answer it. And sometimes I'll answer and say, well, based off of what you described, you know, I can't really provide an answer, but assuming X, Y, and Z, maybe this would be sufficient.
Talking about portal submissions.
It could be portal submissions. Yeah, that's a big one. It could just be, you know, reporting people. Do I think, you know, X is trespassing, you know, that sort of stuff. I don't have enough context in a lot of cases to provide really an informed decision. But then there's the questions that are, the legal ones. We saw a lot of them this week dealing with processes, like how did you do this? Why did you do that sort of thing that I can't answer. So. Right.
Definitely get fired on that one, right? When you hit the legal stuff.
For sure.
True. Well, so what do you like outside of Ingress? What do you like doing when you're not ingressing or Nianticing?
Yeah. That's a really good question. I mean, I guess, so I've got 2 little kids, so I spend most of my time being a father, you know, going to basketball games and soccer games and shuttling them all around. So I do enjoy poker. I've been playing poker since I was 16. So my buddies and I have a poker night just about almost once a week. But beyond that, yeah, it's, and you know what? I use a lot of the coins that I get from players, I'll use as my card protector because they're heavy, they're nice, they're awesome. So everybody's amazed at how many card protectors I've got. But yeah, you know, just being a dad is probably the bulk of the time.
Cool. Yeah, when you're not traveling, I mean, that's so much time spent that.
Yeah, got to make up for it.
Yeah.
You get the kids into Ingress when they get old enough?
Yeah, they keep begging me to do it. We'll see what happens. I'm positive it's going to be around. So yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like one of my kids is over 13, and one of them's almost 13. So it's kind of like, you know, one being able to play and one not. You know, it's tough. So
yeah,
I get that too.
So here's some just some random questions here that we have for you, just to get to know Andrew Krug a little better. So what's your favorite band?
Oh man, do I have to pick one?
I'll take a top 5.
Definitely, I think.
Or top.
I mean,
3.
if I had to pick one, which I'll give you 3, but if I had to pick one, I might lean towards Audioslave.
Oh, yeah? Maybe. Oh, okay.
So, Audioslave and maybe the Foo Fighters. I'm a big Dave Grohl fan.
Nice. Okay, going back, not too far. Not too far. Though, but.
So man, I don't know. My music is I listen to all the different genres, from blues, Mississippi blues, to Rob Zombie, to everything in between. I mean, I'm really good at the Name That Tune game. We play that a lot, actually. You talk about antics. That's one thing we actually play a lot in the office, is Name That Tune. So
awesome. That's cool.
Speaking of, hello, we've got a tune we're going to play and see if you can name it. Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
You grab your guitar. I'm like, what's happening?
I'm just kidding.
I would have been really impressed if we started doing RedSoloCup. That would have been awesome.
Damn, missed an opportunity. Yeah. Well, next time we get you on, we'll have it down pat. We'll have a little sing along, all of us.
All right.
So, if you won the lottery, what would be the first 3 things you would spend your cash on?
How much money are we talking about?
Talking 500 million. That's what the current one's at, right? 560, something like that.
Yeah, I think one person won that too, didn't they? I mean, I would definitely pay my mortgage off. I would probably set up a bunch of accounts for like my niece, my kids, for college, friends, making sure that their kids are set up for college, have a little spending account, spread it around a little bit, I guess is what I'm saying. And then have a balls to the walls vacation, you know, one that lasts 12 months. Just go all around the world.
12 months.
Have a good time. I don't know. I mean, what else are you going to do at that point? That's a lot of cash, even after taxes. So
Epic green fields.
Yeah.
So yeah, epic greenfields. There you go. Yeah, work on my badges. So yeah, I spread it around a little bit, and then be selfish with it afterwards. So
Nice.
So yeah, Eric and I have this deal that if he wins the lottery, he's got to give me half of it.
I heard about that. Yeah, yeah. You were
right,
talking
I
about
actually
that
play the
on
lottery. Yeah, I play about once a year. I might play it twice this year. I don't know. I'm feeling lucky.
Well, good luck to you.
Thanks.
I won't force you to give me a third. That's okay.
I'll give you a part of mine that he gives me.
Half of a half. All right.
Well, I didn't say half, but
what?
A piece of it. We'll say a half of a part of.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
Definitely be able to probably pay your cell phone bill that month.
A dinner. Yeah. Okay.
And we're talking about your name, RedSoloCup. When you came up with that, we all know the story. But did you ever, just even for a second, think about making your agent name some pun off of Freddy Krueger?
Yes. The reason why is when I was in college, our email addresses were our last name and the first letter of your first name and the first letter of your middle name. And my initials are AR, so it was Krug AR, so it was Kruger. So everybody, all my friends know me as Kruger. Yeah. In fact, I've got brothers, so I'm Big Krug, then we have Middle Krug, and we have Little Krug. Krugers all throughout. So.
It's the Krug crew.
Awesome.
Krug crew. Yeah. A bunch of dream warriors.
Yeah. But for Ingress, yeah, I wanted something a little bit different because I don't know, it was a little too common. I've been known as Kruger all my life. So.
So this is a question we've been podcasters for a long time, and this is just something I love to ask every guest at the end of the interviews. Is what's in your pocket? Right
now, nothing actually.
Nothing. Really?
Yeah,
clean pockets.
And I'll tell you why. Because because I work from home. So normally I'm in my pajama pants with like a button-down shirt on up top, right? Because I do a lot of video conferences, and I had to go pick my kids up from the bus, and I can't go to the bus in my pajama pants, so I just threw on a pair of pants. So they're empty pockets.
Ah, okay, empty pockets. I don't think I've gotten that much. One person did say, "I'm not wearing any pants." That was a good answer.
What kind of podcast were you doing? I don't remember.
I think that was Notch that said that, actually, when we talked to him. Anyway,
After Dark version.
Yeah. So, I think that is a good, well-rounded picture of who you are and what you do, what you like, inside and outside of work, and it's all very cool.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me on.
And and before we let you go, is there anything you want to that we didn't cover that you want to hit before we leave? I don't know if there's anything coming up that
let's see that we did not cover,
or just something you want to plug, or
I mean, the community is kind of, I think we all know the situation right now, right? And so I would just really ask people to just remember that players are somebody's brother, somebody's sister, father, husband, cousin. They're real people. There's real people behind the scanner, and to just treat others with sort of that in mind. You don't have to be friends with everybody, Nobody is asking you to do that, but just be respectful of one another, and we will get through the times that are at hand right now. It's a tough time in the community, but I'm positive that with time and with working together that we'll get through it. So
that's very cool.
That's all I got to say.
I like that. Wise words from a wise man. And like we said, appreciate you being on the show. We'll get you on round 2 when you get back or later in the future.
Yep.
And good luck
to come back.
Well, that was interesting.
That was great. That was awesome. He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. So it's cool to just meet him and hang out and get all personal with him and ask him about his family life and stuff too. So it's I guess it's too bad we didn't get an exclusive, like, you know, when is Ingress Prime coming out or something like that. But, you know, hopefully if he has something exclusive, he can like throw it our way in the future or something like that, you know.
Yes.
But anyway, he's a cool guy, and that was a great interview. So let's get into the rest of the show now. All right, what's in the capsule?
What's in the capsule?
What's in the capsule?
What's in the capsule?
I'll tell you what's in the capsule.
Absolutely.
Let's see. What is in the capsule? We have a Twitter, a tweet. We do have a Twitter, but we also got a tweet from Finny McFinger.
What up, Finny?
So he wanted to expand on an idea that we had last week, and quickly, the idea that we had last week was kind of a group activity thing. Like think of like a raid in Pokemon Go, I guess, but where multiple people could perform something in the game, right? And there's a lot of different ideas surrounding that, but I think Brent, you brought up the fact that well, it has to not be like cheatable or something, because people with backpack accounts are like 15 iPads or something in their seat of their car are going to cheat, and they're going to be like roaming around doing all this stuff. Well, here Finny McFinger has a solution to expand on your idea, on your group idea, group hack, where each player does a fraction of the glyphs. This could be harder to backpack or device juggle. So basically, if things have to be simultaneously or in succession or something that has to do, it's like, think of like, you know, the what is it, like the nuke, like to I don't even know if this is true, but you know, to like launch a nuke or something, you have two people standing like 20 feet from each other, and they have to turn the key at the same time, because literally it's impossible for one person. Right? So it's like hard for one person to do. I think that's a cool solution.
That's all war games, and they'll shoot each other if they don't turn the key.
Yeah. They'll shoot each other. And it's not like you have to do it exactly. I would say everybody has a 30-second window to do this thing. So you couldn't do all those things in 30 seconds. You'd have to have 8 people to perform a task. I think that's a really awesome thing. So get on it. Get on it.
Get on it. You know what, Eric?
What?
Ooh, that's a great idea. Let's do it.
Thanks, Notch.
No problem.
He's still not wearing any pants.
No.
But, okay, you want to do this next one?
Sure. This one's from Trisonic, who says, new idea for Prime. If you do your daily hack, your inventory gets bigger at the rate of a very rare mods in a Mufaga. Mufaga. I guess we can change that. Anyway, but if you miss a day, you go back to 2,000 items.
Oh, yeah. So weird.
You just can't hack until you use up those items if it went back to 2,000?
Yeah, pretty much. Kind of like now, I'm always over my cap, and it's like you just got to use them. You know, you just can't hack. You can't pick up anything. You can't take anything out of capsules, or can you? No, I think you can take things out of capsules, but that just means that you're further into debt, basically.
Yeah, because the regular capsules are already counted. So the only ones are the key capsules, which you can definitely take out.
Right, yeah. And then you're still in the red, you know.
Yeah.
So we have one here from Blue Ox. He's a enlightened level 17 from Las Vegas. Don't ask me how he got to level 17. because he'd probably have to kill you. There's a lot of killing going on in this episode, by the way. Okay, so he has a new idea for Prime. Ability to upgrade mods. Plain and simple.
So, question though. Okay, so is that upgrade mods? So like if someone's already put one on and they put on, a common and you want to upgrade it like that, or upgrade mods like there's a new level of mods?
Well, like how you can upgrade levels in MOBAs, and like in items, how it's like a level 1, 2, 3, so it's like it adds features. I would say that it would be a regular mod, and when you upgrade it, it gives you an additional feature. Whatever that is, I don't know. That's up to the creative team to think up, but that's how I would see it. That way you can still have all these regular mods. Like you can still have an AXA or an Aegis, however you want to say it. But you don't upgrade a common to an Aegis. You just upgrade your Aegis to a crazy Aegis, or you upgrade your common to a crazy common, right? You're adding features to it, like lifesteal or something else. I don't know. Cloak ability. Maybe you can't see that there's a shield on there until you start hitting it. And you're like, oh, there's a shield. It was cloaked. Whatever. I don't know. That's a pretty cool idea. I like it.
I do like the idea though of like, okay, you come to a portal and maybe it's a portal that you like to visit a lot, and someone's put a common mod on it. And you're like, man, I wish it was, a rare one. So if you could upgrade that one to a rare one, it's not like removing someone's mod from it. You're just making it better.
Right.
Like, I think that would be a good thing for the game. Like, then people wouldn't get mad. I mean, there's some people that get mad that like, why are you putting a common shield on that portal? And it's like, because I got some and I need 6 AP. So right. I'm sorry. But you don't have a mod on here, so quit yelling at me in comms. It's business. I'm growing a hemorrhoid right here on the show. Crazy.
I thought you were giving birth.
I am. I actually looked around to see what I could give birth to. You're lucky I found nothing.
Wow. A guitar. Whoa.
Remote control. This show has gone into a weird place. Let's go ahead and just play this call instead.
Okay.
This is from Agent Dewey J. And if you want to call in, go to speakpipe.com/Agent Academy, and you can call in just like this agent.
Hi, guys. Something for what's in the capsule from Agent Dewey J of the Central Illinois Resistance. For those agents over level 8, why not introduce skills? Here's the first one, the link laser. To create a link laser, an agent would load an Ultra Strike into the skill slot, and then it would take an entire cycle to turn the Ultra Strike into a link laser. You can deploy a link laser anywhere along the path of a link between 2 portals. For the link laser to hit the link, it must be directly under the link. And when the link laser is fired, it shoots a concentrated beam of XM straight up, and it hits the overhead link. It has a chance of severing the link. Each link is given a link rating based on the sum of the portal levels on each end multiplied by the percentage of charge for those portals. So if you have a link between a level 5 and a level 6 portal, and both portals have 100% charge, that gives it a link rating of 11. The link laser would also have a link rating based on the level of the agent above 8 and the level of the Ultra Strike used to create the link laser. So a level 12 agent using a level 8 Ultra Strike would have a link rating of 12. If the link rating of the link laser is higher than the link rating of the link you're attacking, you have a percentage chance of severing the link. That percentage of success is based on the placement of the link laser when it's fired. As you move from the midpoint towards one of the portals, that percentage goes up. So if you're 50% of the way between the midpoint of the link and one of the portals, your percentage of cutting the link is 50%. So what do you think, guys? Thanks.
Link laser.
What do you think?
Wow, that's crazy. It's like I need to see it. I need to see it on paper, because it sounds impressive, but it sounds like you've really kind of worked through a lot of the details there too. Actually, it's pretty in depth. I'd love to see it written down.
I need drawings.
Yeah, like a
drawings. That was like a math class from like a really intensive one that I didn't want to do when
roll in
like high school. Wasn't so good in math back then. I think it was all the LSD, but that's a different story. And now we're really pregnancies, drugs. I think we're going to have to edit all this out.
And Freddy Krueger.
It's getting into a weird territory.
But let us know in the comments because we'll talk about this in the next episode. If somebody has an issue or something to comment about the link laser, that will explain it to us, right? Because but we love stuff like that. It's pretty. It's like
it's an advance.
What is it called when you create your own? Like fanfic or something, right? It's like fanfic. It's like complicated, really thought through, but very meticulously explained, and it's like, whoa, it's kind of over my head.
But it kind of works for Ingress too, right? In that same vein of like, make it complicated and do some crazy stuff. Cool stuff.
Crazy stuff.
And half of the time I was dealing with an audio issue, so I couldn't listen. And then that was not a conversation to come in halfway on. Mm-hmm. So if you did rewind, listen a few times. A shortened version.
Yes. So I guess this week in the capsule, I'm going to pull out an idea that I had. Okay, so this is how you have email, you get emails, email alerts from Ingress. You get the Ingress damage report sent to your email if you choose to have that setting on or not, and it'll let you know what's been destroyed that you had a resonator on, right? Pretty simple. And then also then you get portal submission status emails too, like if you try to update a title or a picture.
I'm having flashbacks, man.
Or an actual submission itself, you'll get emails. But that's it. That's where it draws the line. So my capsule idea here is I want more email alert options. So as far as I know, there's no place where you can go and configure this. You want alerts on or off, and you just get everything. You just get those things. But if when we get Ingress Prime, if you had some kind of an online profile page. Well, I guess in the app itself, you could do this in the options somewhere. Anyway, where you could say, I want alerts I want a damage report. I want link reports. I want, all kinds of different reports. I know that it might be maybe too much intel, so you'd have to scale it back, but basically anything that you can see on the map, on the intel map, like I can see instantly when somebody throws a link or a field on the map. Why not get an email alert when I can specifically say email alert on this portal? If this portal turns green, give me an email. If this portal turns blue, give me an email. If somebody links from this portal, give me an email. I don't know. What do you think? Is that too much intel?
It's one of those things where it's the borderline on making it easier for people to do scraping type of things.
Yeah.
Now it's a bunch of data that they have, and they don't have to actually scrape. It's just coming straight to them. Like, here's the data, and they can set up different things fairly easily to grab that data. And because now it's form letters, and all you need is this data in these certain spots, and that's easy to grab from an email.
I see. So you use that as your source to scrape.
Yeah, and so you could have all these like micro scrapers just in people just. And it's data that they're given to you. So that they would have a hard time, I think, saying that you were doing anything wrong because they gave you this data. They gave you an email with all this data into it. You didn't actually go get it somewhere, and they can't say you scraped it from Gmail.
Right.
So
right.
It's I do like the idea of being able to set up notifications more. I know, like, okay, so right now you can do in your settings under device, you can get notifications for mentioned in comms, portal under attack, recruiting, and faction activity, news stories, portal nearby opportunities, events and opportunities, and you can set it to vibrate. So if you like a vibrating phone when you're doing your glyph hacking, that's where you do it.
So I guess there's a little bit more than I just mentioned. I guess I have that stuff turned off, and really I just get the Ingress damage report. I know a lot of people turn that off, but I've always liked it because it's like a recap of the day. I get home after being on the road and I see emails popping up, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, so and so blew this up, and I can cross reference it with the time and be like, oh, at 4:43, where was I? You know what I mean? So it's a nice way. I end up deleting them, it's just like, a one-use type thing. I've never scraped it. Of course, Nagy in the chat room mentions that scraping from mail is still against the TOS. So,
Mail.
So of course, but yeah, anyway, just, more mail options. I don't know. Get creative with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Mail stuff, mail call. Maybe you could send other agents mail. That'd be kind of cool instead of having to do it through comms and everybody could see it. Being able to, almost like Craigslist, right? Like you can send people a mail who have a post, but you don't get their email address if they don't want you to have it. That's private. And you could set it on or off, but then, I need to contact you about something. It doesn't go out in open comms, even on your faction comms. Someone could have I almost said a Smurf account, because that's what it's called in some of the games we played, when you have like that, the new account that is not your main account. They call it in Smite. It's called your Smurf account.
Right.
That wouldn't work well in this context, would it? But no. You might have someone who's cheating would have an account of the opposite faction so they can watch comms. So you don't always want to send stuff on comms if it's secure in any way. So yeah, some sort of like Nag says, a PM, a DM, an RM, a QM, anything with an M at the end, just something like that with some kind of message. But yeah, to add on to the email thing, it could be an email message.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going with that as my idea instead of the other stuff.
I dig it.
Because we're running up on the end of the show.
Yeah.
Which
you want to do comms?
Comms. Yeah.
Comms. So, comments from you, the listener. These are comments from, in fact, we pulled some off of recent YouTube comments that we got on our episodes, and you can have yours read too if you comment on this episode. So from Nathan Humastan. Sorry, Nathan.
We suck at names if y'all haven't. But it's okay.
Nathan H. Public access is not required on military bases. Safe access is the requirement. So we talked about military bases and portals being on them, and this is something I really want to ask Andrew, but he couldn't stay for the whole episode. But I would love to hear something still official about this.
Well, and there is a mention. It's kind of a sideways mention on the low quality candidates on the OPR on their help page that says candidates that obstruct the driveway of emergency services and may interfere with the operations of. And this is where you get fire stations, police stations, hospitals, military bases, industrial sites, power plants, and air traffic control towers. Military bases, people trying to even get to different things on military bases is not something I don't think anybody wants in the military. I mean, it's not secure, and it's just an extra that doesn't need to be there. And I bet you if military bases knew it was going on their bases, like the commanders and the people who run them, they would actively go and say, remove these from our bases. We don't want these here. So I take it from that when I see something at military base, I deny an OPR. And if that moves down my rating, then so be it. It's why I think maybe they need to do a questionnaire over 5-star ratings and stuff, so they can make those things immediately. So if that's what they think, then they would know, and it wouldn't take someone's opinion. I was actually working on a form that you basically asked you questions, and at the end it would tell you, yes, you should give a 1-star, or no, you should give a 5-star. Like, would you like that?
Oh yeah.
I'm almost done with it. So we'll let all the agents in the Agent Academy beta test it once I'm done with it. And
that's cool.
A simple form that should take you, just a couple minutes. So you'll have plenty of time when you're in OPR to pull up the request, and then you can just go down the checklist, and at the end it'll say, and then it will tell you why too. Right? That's good to know. Like, oh, I didn't realize this. Yeah, it happens.
Right. That's cool. Yeah. Neat. Okay.
And we did get a link from Blue Dives Matter in chat. U.S. Air Base commander bans augmented reality games as possible terrorist threat.
Whoa.
So this is Colorado Springs Shriver Air Force Base. So we'll link to that article in the show notes. That's another interesting thing. Like, what? Maybe we shouldn't wait for them to have to do that. And maybe it should just be a policy.
Yeah. Huh. Wow, that's cool. All right. And let's do one more here from YouTube comments. John Rocks. Yeah. I won't walk into a Canadian Circle K until this is resolved. You owe Agent Goonie guys some XM artifacts. Take that, Canadian Circle K.
I'm fighting a good fight for all of you who have done points at Circle K.
That's right. I mean, you've been giving us like live, up-to-date, play-by-play Circle K updates here. So, like, yeah, you're on it. And, yeah, I mean, I didn't really know Circle K was in Canada, but, maybe they're worldwide. Maybe they're in China.
Or maybe
they're in North Korea.
A joke. They're not going to actually. They can't walk actually. I think they actually have a partner up there. It may be a Circle K, but I think they have a partner that does Canadian and screws you as well up there. Just they're nicer about it.
They're nicer about it. All right. You want to do this last one?
From Alistair Gilfillan. Talking about the Sojourner, or actually, I guess it was talking about kind of the daily reward stuff and how Pokemon Go keeps you coming back. They say Sojourner and Guardian are the player retention mechanics that Ingress has. So,
yeah, we didn't think about that last episode when we were talking about. I guess that was my. Oh yeah, that was my. What's in the castle idea was let's get those daily rewards going, but that's like. Actually what it is, the Sojourner, it's like log in every day and hack something and we'll give you a prize in a year. Do
you know what Notch would say about your idea, Eric?
What's that?
Worst idea ever.
Put some pants on.
So horrible. That's right. Put some pants on and go outside and make Minecraft 3.
Yeah, 3. Like they probably need to make 2 first.
Some would say they've already done that.
They can skip it. Hey, Microsoft skipped 9, right, with Windows 9, so you can too. And we're going to see Ingress 3 pop up pretty soon because they're going to skip Prime.
That's right.
That's the big secret that Andrew's not telling us about.
Well, and that's what really, kill everybody. So right. I definitely appreciate you, Eric, for not making Andrew say anything that would get us all killed.
Yep. Until next time. Yep. Might slip out. But that is the show. And that was a good one. And that was really cool to speak to Andrew. We didn't call him Andy. He laughed and said that was funny that we called him Andy because we just go, hey, so what's Andy got to say this week? We don't even think about it. It's just, Andy. But he's like, wow, no one that calls me that, like, except like his family or something. And it's like,
we're family. So when he wins the lottery, he's going to throw us some.
Right.
I'm working out that, like, all my connections that if anybody wins the lottery, get a piece. And I just won't ever play.
Yeah.
Isn't that fair?
That is fair.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in this week. Join us again next week. All the links, they're in the show notes. And we expect to see you on episode 11.
Oh, wait. We're going to skip 11 and go straight to 100.
Straight to 100, which will be the episode where we do a radio play.
Cool.
So it's going to take us about, 89 weeks to do. So
and Andrew's going to sing in that episode. It's going to be fantastic. So stick around for next week. when it doesn't happen. Bye.
Bye.